Okay, so now we are into sixth lesson of reproductive health. In previous lesson, that is in lesson 5, we have discussed the part that is MTP, medical termination of the pregnancy, and what is medical termination of pregnancy, and in which term, I mean, at which stage of the pregnancy can we be able to terminate the pregnancy. We have seen, and various issues related with medical termination of the pregnancy, and an amendment to the medical termination of the pregnancy act in 2017 is also discussed in our previous class. So now, in this lesson, what we would be discussing is we'll be seeing the sexually transmitted infections, right? Sexually transmitted infections, or simply they are called as STIs, sexually transmitted infections. So as the name indicates here clearly, so these infections are transmitted by sexual intercourse, right? That's what has been presented here. Infections are diseases that are transmitted by sexual intercourse. Sexual intercourse are collectively called as sexually transmitted infections. That means these are the group of infections. Yes, there is group of infections, and all these group of infections are transmitted by sexual intercourse. That is why they are called as sexually transmitted infections, or simply you can call them as venereal diseases. Venereal diseases, and since they're affecting the reproductive tract, we can call them as reproductive tract infections as well. So that is the simple definition, as simple as it can get. Okay, obviously these are group of viruses, and sorry, not just group of diseases. It's not just limited to viruses. We have different kinds of pathogens, right? We have bacteria involved, we have virus involved. Yes, so all these pathogens collectively cause this reproductive tract infections, are simply sexually transmitted infections. What are some of these infections that has been mentioned in our book is gonorrhea is one, gonorrhea, and syphilis, and genital herpes, and chlamydiosis. Chlamydiosis is the one, and genital warts, trichomoniasis, and hepatitis B, and of course, the most dangerous, and as well as that has been existence for nearly 40 years without any cure is the AIDS. All of these are some of sexually transmitted infections that has been given in our NCRT book. And what we have presented in this chart here is we have presented the causative agents. That means the pathogens, right? The pathogens, the causative agents has been presented here. Whatever that we have seen in the previous page. Gonorrhea. Gonorrhea is caused by Neisseria gonorrhea. It's a bacteria, right? So these are all the bacterial diseases. Neisseria gonorrhea. It's better for you to be remembering all of this. Yes, and chlamydia. Chlamydia is caused by Chlamydia trachomatis, right? Chlamydia trachomatis is the bacterial disease. Syphilis is Trypanoma pallidum, and cancroid. So Haemophilus ducreyi, and this disease is not mentioned in the NCRT. However, you may remember this as well. Virus diseases, genital warts. Genital warts is caused by human papilloma virus, right? And the genital warts, sometimes the cervical cancer, right? As severe as cervical cancer uh, can also occur as a result of this human papilloma virus. The cervix is getting affected, which is leading to the cervical cancer as well. And something called genital herpes. Genital herpes is caused by human simplex virus, which is causing the genital herpes, almost sounding same but two different causative agents are there. One is caused by papilloma virus, and other one is caused by herpes simplex virus. And hepatitis B is caused by this hepatitis B virus. And parasites that we have is trichomoniasis, the trichomonas vaginalis, and pubic lice we have this Thyras pubis. Yes, the P can be silent here. So this is Thyras pubis. This is also not mentioned in the NCERT book. Anyway, it's okay for you to be remembering this as well. But these are some of the pathogenic causative agents of the sexually transmitted infections. Yes, and among all the diseases that has been mentioned here, the most dangerous is HIV infection is the most dangerous one. HIV, obviously, because why it is considered most dangerous is because there is no cure for it. Prevention is the only option, and once the person is affected with HIV, there is no cure at all. And some of these infections like hepatitis B and HIV can also be transmitted by other methods. Yes, they will be transmitted by sexual intercourse, definitely, if there is no protection, if there is no care, if there is no care. And there are other methods of transmission as well for hepatitis B and as well as HIV. What are these other methods of transmission? Here is sharing of injection needles. Yes, it's mandatory to dispose the needles after the usage. And if they're not disposed, and if they're shared between the persons, among the persons or between the persons, it might lead to the transmission of any two of these diseases or any one of these diseases. And as well as surgical instruments also has to be sterilized and has to be cleaned properly, and they should not be used from person to person without cleaning. In such a situation, there is a danger of these diseases getting transmitted with infected persons. And as well as transfusion of blood, the blood that is being transmitted is tested for any diseases or infections, right? So that is where the blood transfusions are, collecting blood from blood banks should only happen from certified blood banks, so that it is free of any diseases, so that the person is also free of diseases without getting contaminated by this impure blood which has these pathogenic agents. And from infected mother to fetus also, this is the case with the AIDS, right? The AIDS, there is a chances that it can be transmitted from infected mother to the fetus. Yes, it can be prevented, and there is a chance that it can also be transmitted from mother to the fetus, particularly the AIDS. Yes, so these are the various methods other than the sexual intercourse, how these these diseases or infections can be transmitted, whatever that we have mentioned in our chart here. And except for hepatitis B, genital herpes, and HIV infections, all of the remaining diseases can be cured permanently, can be cured completely permanently, and if they are detected early stage, right? So this is the important neat question, right? This is one that frequently asked. So which among the following sexually transmitted diseases is cured, right? Is cured, and which is not cured can also be asked. Yes, so among the cured diseases you can name all these trichomoniasis, and as well, genital warts, and gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis. All of these, if they detected early, you can cure them. But these diseases such as hepatitis B and genital herpes and HIV infections, uh, you know cannot be cured because there is no cure for them, which leads to severe complications. That is the early symptoms of these are minor. Some of the symptoms that has been mentioned is the person may experience the itching, fluid discharge, particularly with the women from their genital tract, slight pain, swelling of the genital region, the vaginal region, and as well as the reproductive tract region will experience all of these symptoms, and you got to be looking for these symptoms if the person is indulged in unprotected sexual intercourse. And the most problematic uh, problematic scenario rather with the sexually transmitted infections is, the infected females can be asymptomatic, right? Infected females can be asymptomatic. That means they do not exhibit any symptoms. Asymptomatic, they do not exhibit any symptoms even after the presence of these infections. So they'll remain asymptomatic, so hence the diseases remain undetected for long, right? Because they are asymptomatic, obviously they will not consult any doctor, and they'll be transmitting these disease or infections to other persons. And as well, absence and as well as less significant symptoms, obviously they're asymptomatic, and as well as there, even if there is symptoms, they're not very significant, not very noticeable symptoms, right? They will not be altering their lifestyles in a such drastic manner, such that is why they will not feel the need to consult a doctor. Yes, and that is one thing. And as well, there is severe uh, social stigma attached to it. So what is the social stigma attached is, particularly in a conservative societies, the premarital sexual intercourse is frowned upon, right? It's not encouraged. It's severely discouraged in these societies. If the elders of the family get to know about the sexually transmitted infections before before the marriage, particularly, and before premarital sex, that indicates the person uh, might have might have indulged in the premarital sex. So that is why they will not come forward and explain their condition to the elders of the family, and keeping it to themselves only, which leads to severe complications. So that is the reason here, right? The social stigma attached to sexually transmitted infections deter these persons from going from timely detection and as well as proper treatment. Because particularly, people who are of the adolescence age, indulging in sexual intercourse is not well guided to them, is not well explained to them. In such a situation, even if there is sexually transmitted infections or any of these infections, they will not come forward, and they will not consult the elders, and they will not be taken to these proper hospitals for the treatment, so that the detection can happen. And if they are not detected early, since they are asymptomatic, and because of the social stigma, and if they are not detected early, so there can be severe complications, as severe as pelvic inflammatory diseases. So pelvic inflammatory diseases, because of the pelvic inflammation, there can be a severe lower abdominal pain, sometimes upper abdominal pain, and as well, excessive fluid discharge, and menstrual cycles can also be affected. And there can be ectopic pregnancies as well. Pelvic inflammatory diseases, there can be ectopic pregnancies. I have explained about the ectopic pregnancies, previous lessons, I don't think. So ectopic pregnancies, so it can lead to the ectopic pregnancy as well. Ectopic pregnancy. So what is this ectopic pregnancy is? So pregnancy that is happening in an unusual site. The usual site will be the uterus, and if the implantation is happening in an unusual site, such as the fallopian tubes, and that kind of pregnancy is called as ectopic pregnancy, and that can happen in the pelvic inflammatory diseases. Okay, and abortions. So the pregnancy can also be terminated by it leads to termination of the pregnancy. Stillbirths is a condition where the fetus is either dead or has developed some kind of complication. some kind of complication, so it is either dead there in the mother womb itself. So that is called as the stillbirths and ectopic pregnancies. Just now I have seen explained ectopic pregnancy, right? And as well as infertility and even cancer of the reproductive tract. We have seen the cervical cancer. Just now we have seen the cervical cancer with the papilloma virus. So these are all the severe conditions, right? The person getting infertile is not the situation nobody wishes for. Nobody wishes for, and these kind of situations may arise in if the condition, if the diseases or infections is not detected in the early stage itself. Yes, so that is why, since they are asymptomatic and they are not detected early, and they are not going for any care, in a cure rather, so that is why they are major threat to the healthy society. Therefore, early detection and cure for these diseases is very important to achieve the goal of a reproductively healthy society. That is why a prime consideration is given to create awareness to the people, particularly of the adolescents age group, particularly those people who are of the vulnerable age group, particularly those are of the vulnerable age group. So that is from 15 to 24, 15 to 24. So which is the age of curiosity, which is the age of experimentation. As a result of that, there are reported reported rise in the increase of the sexually transmitted infections in this particular age group. And please to make a note of this age group as well. So there is also a question here for the NEET exam. The vulnerable age group for sexually transmitted infections is the age from 15 to 24 is the vulnerable age group. And obviously, because of the dangers involved with the sexually transmitted infections, and these dangers has to be explained, and an awareness has to be created in the society. So because of this, one could be free of these infections by following some safety precautions, some safety principles. What are those? Since they are only transmitted by sexual intercourse, right? Not by mere contact or touch, right? Not some airborne diseases. Yes. So in the case of airborne diseases, you cannot do anything. So sometimes without taking better care, the diseases might come in the case of airborne diseases. But here such is not the case. So here, if you take a precaution, you can completely avoid these diseases. What is that carries? So avoidance of the sex with unknown partners, and as well as multiple sexual partners, right? So if there is sexual intercourse, you have to be having better or complete idea about the sexual health of the person. And it's okay to discuss the sexual health of the person. Sometimes people may hesitate to discuss the sexual health of the partners, but it's okay. As well, as a matter of fact, it is very advised, very recommended to uh, to discuss the sexual health of the partners involved. And as well, it is better to make sure the sexual intercourse happens with one partner instead of indulging in multiple partners. So it should be avoided. And as well, always try to use condoms during the coitus or the sexual intercourse. So when we are seeing the barrier methods, so we have seen how the condoms provide the additional benefit here. So the additional benefit that we have is, one thing, they are contraceptive methods. They're physically preventing the gametes, and as well they are also preventing these pathogenic agents to enter into the body. Yes. So that is, always use the condoms. So this, if you use this latex or rubber sheets, rubber coverings, so that the entry of these pathogens is stopped, they will not be entering into the body. Yes. So you have taken two precautions. That is, so nobody is indulging in sexual intercourse with unknown partners, and as well wearing condoms is necessary. And if there is any doubt, because there can be malfunctioning condoms, and you have indulged in sexual intercourse, or the rape might have taken place. And if we have seen early symptoms of the sexually transmitted infections and you are doubtful of it, in such a situation, there should be no hesitation to discuss with the elders of the family so that you can be taken to a qualified medical doctor for early detection. So as we have seen with the case of medical termination of the pregnancy, we should not be believing in quacks, right? So people who are posing as doctors, people who are posing as doctors, we should not be trusting our health with these people, that is why always, as far as health goes, always should go for qualified medical professionals, right? Qualified medical doctor, and get complete treatment if diagnosed with infections. Yes, if they are detected early, and these some of these diseases can be completely cured, except very few, right? In the case of, the genital herpes, HIV, and as well as hepatitis, except this, all of these can be completely cured, right? And to recap what we have discussed and what are the neat questions that can be asked from this area is, so as I have explained, so these three can be asked in the statement related questions. Yes, so the precautions or the principle that should be followed can be, so these three can be put in a statement related questions. And so as it is, this direct line is asked, that is age group 15 to 24, vulnerable age group is asked in multiple choice options. And these severe complications also are sometimes asked. The following are the severe complications, and they'll give you some, A to D or A to F or A to E. So among these, you need to be identifying which are severe, which are not so severe. Yes, there is also a question here regarding the regarding the symptoms or the complications that have developed as a result of not detecting early. Yes, and as I have explained, so these names of these causative agents also is sometimes important. These names haven't been given in NCERT, but anyhow, it's sometimes the questions are asked outside of NCERT. That's why it's okay for you to be remembering these names as well. And this is the most important point as far as this STIs are concerned. So this is the most frequently asked questions. That is why please to remember this one as well. Yes, that is hepatitis B, genital herpes, and HIV infections. HIV infections, cannot be cured except these. All of these can be cured if detected early. Yes, so that is our discussion about the sexually transmitted infections. Yes, and I'll be ending this lesson here. And in the next lesson, I'll be discussing the infertility, and why does infertility happen? What procedural methods that are available to the people who are infertile. Yes, thank you a lot. Please do subscribe. Thank you.